Hello, everybody. I'm Tina Zion, and my first YouTube recording in this series was about how to notice your intuition, how to really realize that we're all intuitive, and it's very, very natural to be intuitive. It's a part of us. So today I want to really talk about what medical intuition is. And I realized I had so much to say about it that I actually took some notes because I didn't want to miss anything. So basically, let's start with this that everybody, you, me, everyone else, we even know, has their own story. They have their own story of this current life, but they also come forward into this current life with literally the stories of their past life. And so that's very, very common. And that story is part of our mind, our body, our soul. And it becomes actually very, very complicated. And medical intuition really we discover the patterns that people are carrying in their body. We notice the vibrations, and we notice it as sometimes vibrations of thoughts, vibrations of emotions that the body carries inside of us, and we actually carry it from past lives as well into our current life. Um, the medical intuitive notices the mind, the body, and the emotions and the interconnectedness of all of that. Because thoughts and emotions are very, very real and they're actually part of our body, they're part of our soul, they're part of our life. So everything that we are thinking, feeling, learning, experiencing are actually vibrations in our physical body. So really, everything is energy. Information is energy that remains in our body and it remains in our soul. So our body, our mind, and our soul is full of information, and that information is in vibrations. So the medical intuitive is able to pick this up, but I want to really talk about Western medicine. See, the medical intuitive is picking up things that Western medicine cannot do, even with MRIs, with CAT scans, with lab draws, laboratory draws of our blood. It still is limited to what information they can find because our energy vibrates at certain frequencies, and every frequency is a level of information. And our human body carries sometimes, and it even holds on to certain information, um, either because of how severe it was, a situation, how positive a situation it is. Positive and negative um, experiences actually vibrate and rush through our body, our mind, and our soul. Vibrations build up. Positive experiences tend to be, how I say, very, very fine and light. But negative experiences tend to be heavy and slow. And that heaviness and that slowness in our body actually tends to become sluggish. It becomes slow and it becomes more dense because of that slow sluggishness. And it becomes more dense, and that density will often cause an illness. Now, the medical intuitive will feel, I had to think about this too, the medical intuitive will actually feel illness much more readily than what they often pick up as the positive because negative experiences, what we would call negative emotions, because of that thickness, that slowness of it, of the vibration, makes it actually easier for a medical intuitive to pick it up because it's so visible, it is so dense, the feeling of it, all the intuitive signals will come to the medical intuitive about the illness and even the location. So, it could be in our muscles, it could be in our blood, it could be in our joints, it could be in one shoulder versus the other shoulder, one side of our head versus the other side of our head. And that even gives us even more information. So, for example, the medical intuitive could feel a tightness in one side of a person's neck and they would know it's not in the other side of the person's neck. So that symbolizes a certain piece of information. They're in general, though, they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders because literally one side or the other side of the neck is also part of the shoulders. So look at that. Even our language talks about that body, mind, and emotional connection, that he or she carries the weight of the world on their shoulders. So when we help a struggling or an ill person at this deep level, when you say these things to your clients, they will just light up because they'll realize you have this profound sense of knowing their situation, that it's not foreign to you, and they'll realize that you understand what they are sensing, what they're feeling, what they're struggling with. They will just light up. And because the medical intuitive not only finds the issues, but we also go and are able to find the cause of something. And that cause is a key piece of information about healing. It's a key piece of information when we also can find the cause. The cause could have been last week. The cause could have been when we were a teenager or a little child. And the cause could also be coming from a past life. So I hope you get a sense, not of fear, but of how the medical intuitive is very, very, very aware at such a deep level that it and gives that to their clients in kindness. It's just a wonderful thing that anyone and everyone can take their intuitive abilities into medical intuition. If you are interested in this, that you will be able to notice what the person is struggling with. We pick up the things that, like I said, the physicians and hospitals cannot find. And yet we will find how accurate we are. I find I've been doing this for decades. I still, even as I'm telling you about it, I feel kind of in awe about this ability, but I am not the only one that has it. I go all over the world teaching people how to do this, and they all pop open. So it is, don't think that this is beyond where you can go. Simply notice if that's even an interest to you, and it's fine if it's not an interest to you. But I really wanted to show people that we are literally wired to be intuitive for ourselves, but also we are wired to help other people at this profound level. So if you have an interest in the physical body or the emotions, if you have an interest in the skills, that we can actually go to the cause of something and do profound healings with it. So one thing I wanted to add to this is that do you know that the people that come to my courses are have no medical background at all? Some of them, and a lot of them, are Reiki practitioners. Some of them are already mediums or intuitives, but they want to take it to this healing level. And I love it to tell everybody this. Who's coming to my courses are also um, physicians. They're nurses. They are what in the U.S. we call PAs and NPs. They're respiratory therapists, chiropractors, all kinds of professions, and all kinds of professions, even in the medical world. And they come in and they tell me, these professionals, and say, I am picking up information about my patients and it's accurate, and I don't know why I'm doing it or how I'm doing it, but I want to do more. And I want to do it more. So I love that. I'm giving myself goosebumps. So we are in a physical body, but we're also eternal souls. And we are much, much more powerful in such kind, loving ways than most of us ever realize. So thank you very, very much. Please check out my website. It's just www.tinazion.com, and you can check things out. Please do, and I'll see you for our next little YouTube class. Thank you a whole bunch. Bye-bye.